Welcome to the first full lit style class of this year and this series of classes. Today's class will have a theme of letting go of things that no longer serve us. I find that, and I'm sure many of you find that beginnings, any new beginnings of the new year, of the new season, of the new month. They're great opportunities, great times to reflect on our lives and be honest with ourselves and just think of things that are maybe holding us back or maybe not being the best for us, maybe stopping us from doing other things that we might want to be doing. And when it comes to yoga, maybe there are poses that we do in a way that is not best for our bodies. I will invite you quite a few times in today's class to come to the body and notice how a certain pose feels in the body, and then we'll do it in a different way, a more lit yoga way, and just notice how that feels in the body. And if there's any difference, if one feels better than the other, neither is better nor worse, just different. And if you find that there are things that I cue or encourage you to do that do feel better in your body, then maybe you adopt those starting now, and then in the future use those ways, lit ways, to do things rather than maybe traditional yoga ways that you might have learned in the past. So let's keep that in mind as we start to move. We'll start on our backs. Placing the soles of the feet on the floor, finding the back of the skull, the back of the shoulder blades, and the sacrum, and pushing them down into the floor. So we really want to feel them all nice and flat against the ground. And you can close your eyes. We'll just spend a few moments here settling into the body, into the breath. So taking a moment just to notice how the body's feeling now before the practice. How does the breath feel in the body? Does it flow easily, or it's maybe slightly labored? Is it deep or shallow? If you've noticed that you're breathing pretty shallow, mostly using the top of your chest, see if you can deepen the breath. Let it fill up, the inhale fill up more of the lungs. Even feeling the lungs in the back of your body pushing into the floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel the whole rib cage draw towards the center of the body. Staying here for 3 more deep breaths. Now begin to flutter open your eyes. And let's begin. Placing the hands on top of the thighs. You want to be able to straighten the arms. So if you were bending the elbows, you can walk the feet away a little bit. With an exhale, push the hands into the thighs, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, and then begin to lift the hips up off the floor. Your glutes will engage, and then release the arms down by your sides. Heel to the feet a little bit more closer, so they're not touching, but they are more towards the middle of your body than under the hips. And then push the weight into, so really push into the right foot will lift the left foot up off the floor. You can always slide a block under the sacrum and do the same thing, making it a little bit easier with the block. And from here, we'll start to internally or externally rotate it at the left hip. So moving the foot side to side. The knees pretty much staying right over the hip, and you're telling your right glute to hold, to work here. Let's extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Palm is facing up. Take the right hand and pull down on your left fingers. Continue to Use the right glute. I know you're probably starting to feel it if you're not on the block. Even if you are on the block, see if you can find some engagement in that right glute. And make sure your left hip is not falling to the left. One more breath. Let's place the left foot down, again, a little bit more towards the middle of the body, and then the right foot will lift. We'll start to first tell the left glute engage. You can even poke it, and then start to move the right foot side to side, external and internal rotation of the right hip. And then the right palm turns up towards the ceiling. Take the left hand, pull down on your right fingers, including your thumb. Again, right hip is staying up. Don't let it fall. One more breath. Place the arms down, place the foot down. Move the feet so they are hip width apart. Both glutes are engaging here, lengthening the tailbone. Inhale. Exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower the spine down onto the floor. We'll do one set of abs. Release, extend the legs up towards the ceiling. And from here, with an inhale, as you exhale, lower the right leg down as far as you can without tilting at the pelvis. You're pushing the sacrum into the floor, belly's pulling down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lower the left or lift. Exhale, lower the left leg down, pushing the sacrum into the floor. Inhale, lift the leg up. One more time like that. Exhale, lower the right leg down. So even if you can bring it all the way down, make sure that you're hovering it off the floor. You're not placing it on the floor. Inhale, lift the leg up. Exhale, lower the left leg. Inhale to lift it up. Exhale, lower the right leg. The left arm will reach up over the head. Inhale, lift the leg and the arm up. The arm will come down onto the floor, and then switching sides for the next exhale, lower the left leg and the right arm. Inhale, lift it up. One more time like that. Exhale, lowering the right leg, left arm goes up and then over the head. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, over the left arm and the right leg. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower the right arm, left leg. And then lift the leg and the arm, reach the arm towards the foot, your right foot. Inhale, lower the arm and the head down. Exhale, lower the left leg, right arm goes up and over the head. Lift the leg and the arm up. The arm will reach over towards the left foot. You lift up, lift the head and the shoulders off the floor. Place the upper body down, the arm goes down. Exhale, lower the right leg, left arm lifts over the head. Exhale, bring the head and the shoulders up, reach the fingers towards the right foot. Inhale, lower the leg and the arm over the head. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower the head and the arm down. The other side. Exhale, lower the leg and the arm extends over the head. Inhale. Exhale, hand towards the foot, lift the head and the shoulders. Inhale to extend. Exhale, lift up. Inhale and lower. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhale, lower the leg and the arm reaches over the head. Inhale. Exhale, reach the hand towards the leg. Inhale to open and lower. Exhale, reach the hand, lift the shoulders and the head. Inhale, lower the head and the arm. Last side. Exhale, lower the leg. Right arm reaches over. Exhale, hand towards the foot. Inhale to lower. Exhale, hand towards the foot. Inhale, lower the head and the arm down. Bring the knees in. You can give them a little hug. And then bring the feet onto the mat. Heel to the feet about mat width apart. With an exhale, lower the knees towards the left. You push the arch of the right foot into the floor. Right glute will engage to extend the hip forward. Place a fist, your left fist, right on the ASIS, that pelvic point that sticks out. And then really push that pelvic point into your hand. It's going to help engage the glute. Your right arm will reach up and over the head. And just watch your floating ribs so they don't pop forward. You want to keep pulling them down towards your back. Good. Inhale, bring the knees through center. And then over to the right, left. Arch of the left foot pushes into the floor. Make a fist with the right hand. Push the ASIS into your fist. And then the left arm will reach up over the head. From here, rolling all the way over onto your right side. Use the left hand to push into the floor. We'll make our way around into a quadruped. Wrists under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's do a couple of cats and cows. Inhale, open, soften the chest towards the floor, tailbone goes up. Pull the hands back lightly, energetically. Exhale, push the floor away, chin to chest, tailbone towards the floor. Inhale to open across the chest, soften it, tailbone up, crown of the head up. Exhale to round. One more time, inhale into a cow. Exhale into a cat. Now finding a neutral spine here, lengthening the tailbone towards the head. And just notice how this feels. And then bring attention to your knees. You can even look down and see if your knees, most likely your knees are more back under your hip joint. And you might feel that it's easier to kind of round your low back, move it there. See if you can move your knees towards the wrists a little bit more so they're right under those pelvic points, the ASIS bones. And then it's a little bit not as easy to move at the pelvis. So we want to stay here. This is the LYT way to try and set us up in a way that we're more likely to succeed when we now start to move. We'll extend the left leg up, back behind, and then lift it up. Toes are pointing down. Right arm will reach forward, thumb is facing up. Bird dog pose. Inhale. Exhale, draw the right elbow towards the left knee. Keeping the spine long. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Keep going. So this is where we really want to control the pelvis, the spine. We don't want the pelvis to move, which is why we set up with the knee closer in. One more time, extend. And in. Let's extend. Place the hand and the knee down. We'll switch sides. Right leg extends back and lifts up. Left arm reaches forward, thumb is facing up. Inhale. Exhale, guide the knee towards the elbow. The other way around as well. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow comes closer together. Two more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Last time, thumb extend. And in. Place the knee and the hand down. We'll lower the forearms down for dolphin. Either interlace the fingers or have the palms down. This is going to depend on what feels better in your body and how open your shoulders are. I still like to interlace my fingers. Relax the crown of the head towards the floor. Tuck the toes under. We'll push the forearms into the ground, lift the knees, and then the hips go high up. You can walk your feet in a little bit towards the elbows, keeping the ribs in. So if you notice in your dolphin that you're allowing the chest to go towards the floor, then see how you feel when you pull the ribs in a little bit more. You can hold here or lift the left foot, move it over to the left, and then bring it to center. And then the right foot lifts, goes to the right and center. So this is abduction at the hips, like a pendulum. going side to side, or like those magnetic balls. One pushes to the side and then touches others to initiate the ball on the other side to go to the side. A couple more times, side to side. The last time, to the left and to the right. Good, bend the knees, bring them wide, mat width apart. Extend the arms forward, hips come on top of the heels. Extended child's pose. So coming into it whichever way you typically would. And then pulling those floating ribs in just a little bit so they're not sinking just towards the floor. You want some engagement in the core even here. As well as the armpits. Don't let them just sink down and they'll energetically lift everything up. Good. Let's lift the hips off the heels. Tuck the toes under. We'll lift the knees up and then walk your feet towards the hands. Bring the hands to the waist, elbows point up. Inhale to rise all the way up. We'll move through one sun salutation A. This is not your typical, sun salutation 1. This is not your typical sun salutation A. We do it in all of LYT classes, so you'll get used to them. We'll do one time each side. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands come down towards the floor, place the palms onto the ground, step the right foot back, lower the right knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise up, arms reach forward and up. Begin to pull the front heel back, back knee forward, and that's going to engage your right glute. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot back for plank. Lower the knees. Lower all the way down. Keep the heads of the arm bones lifted as you lower. Inhale, pull the hands back, energetically lift the chest up, baby cobra. Exhale, push the floor away, through kneeling plank into down dog. Let's step the right foot forward without lifting the hands as best as you can. Lower the left knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise up, 90-90 lunge. We are pulling the top foot back, back foot forward, or back knee forward. Exhale, place the hands to the floor, step the left foot forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let's do the second side. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Hands to the floor, left foot steps back, this time lower the knee, keep the toes tucked. We'll rise up, bring the right hand behind the head, left hand behind the sacrum. Push the head into your hand, and you want to try and imagine where you're in space. Is your head in line, hand that's behind your head in line with the hand that's on the sacrum. If you're here, see if you can pull back. One more breath. Exhale, hands come down. Step back into a plank. Lower the knees. Lower all the way down. Again, keeping your chest open as you lower. Inhale, pull the hands back energetically. Lift the chest up, baby cobra. Exhale, push through the kneeling plank into downward facing dog. Left leg will lift. Step the foot forward without lifting the hands. Lower the right knee down. Keep the toes tucked. This time, left hand comes behind the head, right hand on the sacrum. Push the head into the hand that's behind the head. Elbows are open to the sides. But watch the floating ribs. You're going to pull them in. Good. Exhale, hands come down on either side of the front foot. Step the right foot forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. And hands come down with an exhale. Let's start the first sequence. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. So on purpose, I didn't cue much here. I wanted you to do it this first time the way you habitually would or that you were taught to before. Now let's try to do it the LYT way. Inhale, reach the arms forward to about shoulder level. Protract the scapula, so push the fingers away from you, and then inhale, reach the arms up. Rather than coming traditionally to the sides, you're coming forward and up, which is a little bit more, a little bit smoother for your shoulder mechanics. Inhale here. Exhale, begin to bend the knees, hinge at the hips go back a little bit, and then you're folding over the hips as you fold forward, keeping the spine nice and long. So this way the spine stays long rather than rounding through the back, especially if you don't have the length in the hamstrings required to keep the legs straight and the spine long. Hands don't have to be by your feet. They can be forward when they land. We'll step the right foot back. Hands will come onto the tips of the fingers, or you can take the blocks, place the hands on the blocks, or any height that gives you enough space to keep the spine long. Inhale. Exhale, tap the right knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the knee up. Exhale to tap. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, tap. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift the knee up. Move the blocks to the sides, and then we'll lower the knee. Heel toe the left foot to the left. Option to bring the foot on a diagonal and then come onto the outside edge of the foot without collapsing at the ankle. You want to keep the ankle stable here. Hands will come on the floor, or again, you can place them on the blocks. And start to bend and straighten the knees. Still pretty early in the class. We don't want to just go too deep. In the beginning, we're starting to warm up the muscles and we create some opening in the hips. Good. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, rise up. Move the blocks away. Heel toe your left foot back to center. Inhale, rise up into low lunge. Just take a moment to notice how your low lunge is feeling in your body. It doesn't have to look the same as mine right now. Good. You might be here. Just notice how that feels. Good. And then if you are really sinking into your hip, come out, move the front foot back a bit so you create this 90-90 position with your legs. Begin to dial the tailbone towards the floor, lift the pubic bone up. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. And notice how this feels. Where do you feel the stretch? Where do you feel the pinching, the bends? Just observe. So this is more of a lit way, 90-90 lunge. I still feel quite a bit of stretch in my hip. I'm just not sinking into it. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand under the shoulder. Lift the right knee off the floor. Left arm reaches up and over. Relax the ear towards the shoulder. Notice how this is feeling. Traditionally, you're probably looking up. How does that feel on your neck? Good. And then lit way, see if you can maybe relax the ear towards the shoulder for a neck stretch. And then lift this right hip up. So you want the hips to be leveled. You might not reach the arm as far up, and that's fine. Good. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Walk the hands towards the long edge of the mat for side lunges. So we'll begin by parallel feet here. Start to bend one knee at a time. Hands can be on the floor, or you can place them on the blocks. Again, keeping the spine long. You're bending the knees, sending the hips back. Going side to side. Good. Next time you bend your left knee, start to walk the hands forward towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot back, hips go up, down dog. And right away begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep the knees bent, you want the heels on the floor. Hands are on the floor or the blocks, belly is touching the thighs. Good. So this is called happy squat and lit. It's like a forward fold, but with the knees bent, keeping again the spine long. And deep flexion of the hips. There's a flexion of the ankle and the ankles and the knees. And let's walk the hands over to the left without moving the lower body. So you still want, if you've noticed you moved your right hip forward, standing back. You want the hips to be parallel to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, walk the hands through center and then over to the right. As far as that would go, nice side body stretch. Inhale, bring the hands back to center, walk them forward into a plank. Good. Now either lower the knees or come down in one piece with an exhale. Keeping the chest open. Push the tops of the feet into the ground. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. This time, inhale, lift up, energetically pull the hands back, pull the belly up just slightly, and make sure your glutes are engaged. Sending the tailbone towards the heels, pubic bone up towards the chin. Notice how that's feeling. Exhale to lower. Push the floor away through kneeling plank into down dog. Walk the feet in. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels. Exhale, walk your feet forward towards the hands. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come down to heart center. Let's do the other side. So now you know kind of which kind of cues I'm going to give, and see if you can think of those when you start to move. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Hands, palms come onto the ground, step the left foot back. Bring the hands on the fingertips or on the blocks. Inhale, exhale, lower the knee to touch the floor. Inhale, lift the knee up. Engage the left glute, exhale to lower. Two more, inhale up. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. As you exhale, place the knee down. Begin to heel toe the right foot towards the right side of the mat, and then bring the foot on an angle. You can come onto the outside edge of the foot without collapsing at the ankle. Hands will be on the floor under the shoulders or the block, and let's start to bend and straighten the elbows. Two more breaths. Good. Heel toe the foot back to center. Inhale, rise up. In whatever lunge you want the first time. And then again, if you're really sinking the hips towards the floor, just notice how that feels. How does your low back feel? Where do you feel the stretch? And then you can pull the front hip back a little bit so that your back knee is right under the hip. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Dial the tailbone to the floor, pubic bone up. The left glute is working. Exhale, bring the left hand under the shoulder, lift the left knee. Inhale, twisted crescent. First time, whichever way you typically would do it. And then, if you're looking up, release the ear towards the shoulder. And then notice your pelvis. You most likely want to lift the left hip up a little bit and lean back slightly. You might not turn as much, but that's fine. This is a more integrated way. One more breath. Exhale, bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Walk the hands towards the long edge of the mat. So hands are under the shoulders, either on the floor or the blocks, and let's start the side lunges. So moving side to side. Bending the knees, making sure knees don't come in front of the toes. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that what we're going for here is that deep hip hinge, and if you move the knees forward, then you're not really hinging at the hip. When you bend the right knee, stay there. Walk the hands towards the front of the mat. Place them down, step back into plank. one piece, or bring the knees down. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, pull the hands back energetically, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. This time, again, lift up, pull the belly up, glutes tighten. Notice how that feels. Does it feel better than the first time we did it? Exhale to lower. Push the floor away. Through kneeling plank into down dog. Walk the hands back towards the feet. One more time. Happy squat. Belly on top of the thighs. Heels are down. Walk the hands to the right first this time. For a side stretch. Don't move the pelvis. Don't move the hips. Inhale, come through center. And then over towards the left. Inhale to center. Walk the hands forward into a plank, into down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels. Exhale, walk your feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come down to heart center. We'll move through one sun salutation B before we go into our second sequence. So this is going to be traditional sun sal B. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, bend in the knees and the hips. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Step back into a plank. Knees are up or down with an exhale, lower all the way or halfway down into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot in a little bit, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, lower the right heel down, warrior one, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back into a plank, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway down. Inhale, up dog or cobra, belly's up. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps in, right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands, left heel comes down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Step back into a plank. Knees up or down, exhale, lower all the way or half. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale into down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels. Exhale, walk or lightly hop your feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, rise into your chair pose. And exhale, Tadasana. So I wasn't cueing much here. The ideas are the same. When you're in your prone back bend, you want to engage your belly, you want to tighten your glutes. When you're lowering down, you want the chest to stay open. When you're in warrior one, you want to keep the ribs from shooting forward. Second sequence. We're starting in the chair pose. So you can have the feet hip width apart, or you can bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart, whatever you prefer. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, bend in the knees and the hips for chair pose. Just take a moment again. Notice how this feels in the body. Good. And then bring attention to the ribs. Are they shooting forward? If they are, pull them in. Notice your low back. Is it rounding? If it is, bring the pubic bone forward a little bit. You might even have to lower the arms a bit, because if they're too high, most likely you're bending to the back, shooting the chest forward. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the weight into the left foot, extend the right leg back into warrior three. You can take any arm position that works for you. I like to come more into airplane with my arms reaching back. The hands can also be on the blocks under the floor. And here you want to parallel the pelvis to the ground. So often we like to hike that right hip up. You want to bring it down. And again, watch your head so it's not too far down, and the chest. Step the left foot far back, right foot far back. Inhale, open for goddess. So for goddess, we'll bend the knees, toes in line with the knees. Bring the arms into cactus. Take a moment to feel your goddess. How does it feel in your thighs, in your pelvis, in your low back? So for goddess, we often like to shoot our bumps back. See if you can again dial the tailbone down, pull the pubic bone up for a more neutral pelvis, getting any rounding out of the low back. How does that feel? Again, watch the ribs, bring them in. And let's add side bends. So pull your right elbow in, and then the left arm will reach over towards the back of the mat. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, pull the left elbow in, right arm reaches. And again, one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, right elbow in, left arm reaches over. Inhale through center. Exhale, left elbow in, right arm reaches. Inhale through center. Windmill to face the back of the mat for high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. And again, take a moment to feel this in your body. Where's the stretch? Where's any pinching, bending? What are you feeling? And then, so most likely our low lunges look like this. Back leg is straight. We're pushing the chest forward. We're rounding through the low back. See if you can bend the back knee. Pubic bone up, tailbone down. Ribs are in, arms reach forward and up. How does that feel? Where's the stretch? We want it in the front of the left hip. Do you feel it there? Good. Let's extend the arms forward. Inhale, peel the right arm towards the back for a twist. Exhale, bring the hands together. Inhale, peel the left arm without moving the pelvis. Exhale, together. One more time. Inhale, open it into a twist to the right. Palms together. With an exhale, inhale, open into a twist to the left. Exhale, palms together. Bring the hands to the heart center. Lean forward now. You can straighten the back leg because we are leaning forward. With an exhale, turn the chest to the right. Left elbow, so extended side angle. Come into it whichever way you typically would. Often we are cued to have the elbow outside of the leg and then push it to open. That's really using that push to twist, which sometimes is not best for our spine. I like to cue the elbow right above the knee on the thigh, and then use the core to turn the chest to whatever degree it can. Also, when we have the elbow to the outside, we like to round the shoulder. This way you can keep that shoulder open. How does that feel? Good. With an exhale, lower the left hand down, left knee down, left hip down for a seated twist. So your right knee is on top. This left leg can be straight in front of you or the knee bent by the right hip. Right hand behind the back. Inhale, reach the left arm up, grow tall. Exhale, turn the chest towards the right, hug the knee. So I like to turn around so you can see. I like to hug my knee, again, keeping this shoulder open. Often we are cued to hook the elbow, which right away starts to round my shoulder forward. And habitually, we are always with a rounded shoulder, so why not take the opportunity to keep the chest a little bit more open, the LYT way. One more breath there. Hopefully you've explored the two different options. Inhale, bring the chest towards the knee. Right leg will slide behind in this, call this deer or ballet sit. Bring the left hand behind you, fingers are facing away. Inhale, push the hand into a floor, lift the hips, open the chest. Exhale, bring the hips down. Turn the chest towards your left shin, inhale. Exhale, fold over the shin, belly to shin. Long back. Inhale to rise up. Bring the hands behind. Turn to face the front of the mat. Your feet are hip width apart. Hands are under the shoulders, fingers facing your feet. With an exhale, push into the floor, lift the hips. Reverse table. This time, do it whichever way you typically would. Inhale to lower. Now let's do it the LYT way. And exhale, push the feet and the hands into the floor as you're lifting. Guide the tailbone towards your heels. Really engage those glutes. Pull the belly in a little bit, chest is staying in. Neck, you can drop it or not. That depends on how it feels in your body. You can look forward or drop it. With an exhale, lower the hips down. Cross at the ankles, bring the hands forward. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees. Walk the feet back. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart center. And let's do the other side. So sequence 2, other side. Starting in the chair. So if you want to bring the feet closer together, you can. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. And right away, notice if you're shooting the chest forward. Is your low back rounding? Try to get out of it. Let's shift the weight into the right foot. Warrior 3, extending the left leg back, choosing the arm variation that you like. So paralleling the pelvis, I like to flex my foot, pointing the toes towards the floor. Push the heel into imaginary wall behind, pulling the floating ribs in. And another thing is, you're often cued to straighten the bottom leg. But if that doesn't work, it's completely fine to have the knee bent. Opening the chest, one more breath. Step the left foot far back, open to the side of the mat for goddess. Same thing that we did the first time. Left elbow comes in, right arm reaches up and over towards the back of the mat, side lunge, side bend. Inhale through center, exhale, right elbow in, left arm reaches. Inhale, center, exhale, side bend towards the back of the mat. And center, and to the front. And center. Let's turn to face the back of the mat. Left foot is forward. Feel your low lunge. Maybe you bend the back knee, draw the tailbone down. Keep the ribs in if you reach the arms forward and up. Let's extend the arms forward. Palms are facing each other. Inhale, open into twist. Left arm goes back. Exhale, palms towards each other. Inhale, twist to the right, keeping the pelvis facing forward. Exhale, palms towards each other. Inhale, twist to the left and forward. Twist to the right and forward. Bring the hands to the heart center. Now straighten the right leg. Tilt forward. Exhale, turn the chest to the left. Extended side angle. So if you want to come into whichever way you normally would, try that. And then slide the elbow right above the left knee. Keep the right hip up and chest is opening towards the palms, but you're not pushing the palms into each other. You're using the core to twist here. Good. Let's lower the right hand under the shoulder, right knee, right hip come down. Seated twist, so your left foot will come to the outside of the right leg. Bottom leg can extend. Left hand behind the back. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, turn the chest towards the knee. And then hug the knee with your right hand. You can turn the neck towards, to gaze past your left shoulder. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, unwind. And then step the left leg behind for this deer or ballet sit. Right hand will come behind, fingers facing away. Big circle with the left arm as you push into your hand and your knee to lift up. Glutes are engaged, tailbone going down towards the floor. Exhale to lower. Turn the chest towards the right shin. Inhale. Exhale, lean forward. Little stretch for that right outer glute. Inhale to rise up. Continuing to turn towards the front of the mat. You'll have the option to go into reverse table like we did the first time around, or you can go into reverse plank. Same thing, except your legs are straight. So you're either going to lift up here or straighten the legs, and then with an exhale, let's all push the floor away, push into the feet, lift the hips up, pull the belly in, glutes are engaged, ribs are in, head can come down or not. Exhale to lower, cross at the ankles, bring the hands forward, tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, walk your feet forward to your hands, inhale, rise all the way up, and exhale, hands come down to the heart center. Now we'll put all of this together and go into what we call a stream. So starting in Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Hands on the ground, step the right foot back. And then you can come onto the fingertips, heel toe your left foot to the side of the mat. You can touch the knee down while you set up. So again, you can bring the foot on a diagonal, come onto the outside edge of the foot. You can be on the hands. This time, maybe you come down on your elbows. You can use a block. Place the elbows on the block, and you also have the option to lift the right knee off the floor. So going a little bit deeper, we're more warmed up, trying to keep the back nice and long. Still pulling the belly up a little bit. 2 more breaths. If you're on the elbows, come up onto the hands. Lower the right knee down. We'll bring the left hand on the left thigh, turn the chest to the left. You can stay here. You can lift the right foot off the floor. Final option is to reach the hand towards the foot and grab it. Here, rather than just sinking towards the floor, pull the belly in, pull the chest in, and breathe. Good. Let go of the foot. We'll heel toe the left foot towards the middle of the mat. Bring the right knee in. Extend the left leg towards the back for modified side plank. Bend the knee, grab the foot, and then push. Don't push anything. We want a quad stretch here. So this is often done in yoga classes. Just do it whichever way you typically would. Most likely you're pushing the chest forward, foot into the hand. And then rather than doing that, pull the heel in towards the glute, pubic bone up towards the chin, glute is engaged. Notice if there's more of a quad stretch there. You want your bottom knee to be right under the hip and bottom wrist to be under the shoulder. Good. Let go of the foot. Step the left foot behind. Reverse one-handed table. Both feet come down. Push into your bottom hand. Lift the hips, open the chest. Again, tailbone rooting towards the feet. Floating ribs in. Good. Soften from here. We'll step the left foot forward. Turn towards the long edge of the mat for Skandasana. So we'll start from a little bit higher first. Feet are parallel, bend the right knee, send the hips back. From here, option to lift the left toes up towards the ceiling. If you think you can go deeper, turn the toes, right toes on a diagonal, continue to bend the right knee and come down. Just take a moment, notice how this feels. Now, if your right heel is up, I prefer that you stay up higher. Just notice if there is anything in your knee when you come down and your heel's up. If not, that's fine. You choose what you want to do. But often, if you don't place your heel down, that means your thigh bone is pushing into the knee. It might not feel great. Got 2 more breaths here. Let's lift the hips up. Walking towards the front of the mat. Step back into a plank. And then walk your hands back towards the feet. We'll heel toe the feet towards the edges of the mat, bring them on the diagonal, bend the knees. First option is to stay here. Second option is to come into Malasana Yogi Squat, but again, if your heels are lifting, I prefer you stay up higher. For Malasana, you would bring the hands to the heart center. If you're up higher, hands are on the floor. And let's add a twist. So if you're all the way down in Malasana, left arm reaches up, right hand is down. If you're a little bit higher, right hand is on the floor, left arm reaching up. Good. Exhale, come out of the twist. Walk the hands forward, pivot the feet, bring yourself into a plank. With an exhale, lower all the way down, either in one piece or knees down first. Arms extend, palms down, locust pose. Inhale, lift the arms, the chest, the legs, belly pulling up, glutes engaged. Chin is in, so try not to look forward. You want to lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale to lower, hands under the shoulders. Push up into down dog. Walk the feet in. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels. Exhale, walk or hop your feet forward into a plank, into a forward fold. Inhale, rise up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale. Exhale, turn the chest to the left. Now maybe you stay up higher. Maybe you bring your right elbow right above the left knee, but watch so your right knee doesn't shoot forward. It means that your hips have moved. You want to keep them parallel to the front. Transfer the weight into the left foot, lift the right heel up, and then extend the right leg back. The ball of the foot can be on the floor for reverse extended side angle, or you can float it up. A little bit more challenge. Place the foot down, place your right hand down, lower the knee, lower the right hip, but this time we'll extend the left leg long, and the right heel is coming in to your groin. Turn the chest towards your left foot. Flex the foot, engage the leg. Inhale, exhale, belly to thigh. Inhale to rise. Bring the right hand behind you. Fingers are facing away from you. Big circle with the left arm. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the hips. Exhale to lower. Funky transition here. We'll move. We'll extend actually the right leg forward and then move the left leg towards the back of the mat so your arch is touching the floor. Your right hand will come under the shoulder. Fingers facing towards the front. Push into the left foot and the right hand to lift the hips up into fallen triangle. I want to move my wrist a little bit closer in. With an exhale, bring the left hand down. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Keep the right leg extended to the side. Big stretch here. Good. And from there, slide the right leg back. Hips go up, down dog. Walk the feet in a little bit. Lift the heels, bend the knees. With an exhale, walk or hop your feet towards the hands. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Just one more side left to do. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold. Left foot steps back. Lower the knee, heel toe the right foot to the side. Option to bring the foot on a diagonal, roll onto the side of the foot, hands on the floor or the blocks. Final option to lift the left knee up. You can also have the elbows down. And breathe. You can also do what we did in the first time. Bend and straighten the elbows. Two more breaths. Come up onto your hands. If you were all the way down, lower the knee. Bring the right hand on the right thigh. Turn the chest to the right. First option here is to lift the left foot off the floor. Second option, to reach the hand towards the foot. Third option, to grab the foot and pull the heel back towards the glute. Let go of the foot and then move the knee under the hip for modified side plank. So we'll lift the right foot off the floor, right leg lift, right arm lifts up. Bend the knee, and let's add the quad stretch. So first time, whichever way you were used to. Or first time for first few breaths. And then pull the heel in, pull the pubic bone up towards the chin. And your ribs are in. So rather than pushing them forward, keep them in. How does that feel? Let go of the foot. Step the right foot behind. One hand reverse table. Both feet are down. Knees are bent. Push the floor away as you open the chest up. Tailbone towards the heels. Ribs in. Good. Soften the hips down. Step the right foot forward. And then turn towards the long edge of the mat. Feet are parallel. Bend the left knee. Send the hips back. Starting from here, you can lift the right toes up towards the ceiling. If you want to go deeper, turn the left toes on a diagonal. You can stay there, or maybe try to come all the way down into Skandasana. Again, watching that heel. If it starts to lift, I prefer you stay higher up. And breathe. Long back. Hands to the floor, lift up. Walk the hands to the front. Step back into a plank. Hips go up. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Heel to the feet, mat width apart. Open them, so heels in, toes out. Again, softening the knees, staying here, or coming all the way into Malasana. If you can keep the spine long and heels on the floor. Twist to the right. Right arm reaches up, left reaches down. Here, or if you're higher up, you're here. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Walk the hands forward, pivot the feet as you go, coming into plank. With an exhale, lower all the way down. One more time, locust. Push the tops of the feet into the floor to begin. Extend the arms. Palms are facing down. Inhale, lift the chest, the arms, and you can lift the legs. Belly pulling in. Tailbone wrapping towards the heels. Glutes engaged. Exhale to lower. Hands under the shoulders. Lift up into down dog. Bend the knees. Lift the heels. Exhale, walk or hop your feet forward. Inhale, rise up, chair pose. Knees are bent, hips are hinged. Hands come to the heart center. Inhale. Exhale, turn the chest to the right. Staying up high. Or bringing the left elbow right above the right knee. If you can keep that flexion, long back, flexion of the hips, long back. And your left knee is in line with the right. The weight will transfer into the right foot. Step the left foot back. And then maybe you challenge yourself to float it off the floor. Just a couple of more moves. Place the left foot down, left hand, left knee, left hip come down. Open the right leg to the side. Flex the foot, engage the thigh. Turn the chest towards the right leg. Inhale. Exhale, belly towards the thigh. You might not come deep. Long back. Inhale to rise. Bring the left hand behind, fingers face away. Inhale, lift the hips, open the chest. Exhale to lower. Sliding your left hand under the shoulder, fingers are facing away. Your left leg will face forward, right leg behind, and the arch of the foot is on the floor. We'll push that arch and the left hand into the ground, fall in triangle, lift up. Hips are up off the floor, energetically lifting up out of the bottom shoulder. Exhale, bring the right hand down, come onto the ball of the right foot, and feel this stretch for a couple of breaths. Let's slide the leg back, down dog. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees, lower them down, extended child's pose, hips on top of the heels, arms reach forward. Deep breath. Inhale, lift the forehead up, walk the hands towards the knees. Bring the hips to either side and your legs will come forward. And then we'll come down onto our backs. The last pose for today will be happy baby. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Turn, so the feet will go up towards the ceiling, the soles of the feet. And then separate your knees. You can grab behind your thighs. You can grab your shins, your ankles. Maybe you grab the outsides of the feet. But you don't want to be pulling the feet down. You're just resting your arms there. It might add a little bit of weight, but you're not really pulling your knees down. And then we want to lengthen the low back. The LYT way is to pull the tailbone towards the floor. That might feel actually pretty good. Another option is start to rock side to side. Still keeping in mind that tailbone and the belly is still pulling down towards the sacrum a little bit. 2 more breaths. Release the feet, bring them in, and extend the legs into Shavasana. You can always also keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. But if it feels good for you to extend the legs, do that. Palms are facing up. Lengthen the back of the neck. You want to bring the pelvis to neutral so your low back is long. Relax the body and relax your mind. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Move your wrists, ankles. And then extend the arms up over the head, full body stretch. Bend the knees and roll to your right side. Use your left hand to push the floor away. Rise up to seated position. Try to keep your eyes closed still if you can. Finding a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. Just Just taking a moment to come back to the body, the mind, the breath. Notice how they're feeling now after the practice. And also ask yourself if there's anything that we did today that you might want to let go of. So some habitual moves that you've done that maybe don't serve you anymore, and instead take in some of the cues that I've given today. Just be honest with yourself. Like with any other change in life, we have to start from the place of honesty. Bring the hands to the heart center. Lower the chin to chest. Open the eyes and raise your head. Thank you so much for joining me today. From my heart to yours. Namaste.